We're not recording yet, are we?
No, now we're recording.
Alright!
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Patreon mini podcast. I'm here once again with one less Oscar, but two more Mikes and Joshes. Here to
two Joshes?
I'm a Mike Josh. You a Mike Josh?
We were going to be discussing our pre-release we did, so if you guys didn't see it, you could go check out. We have all the videos up where we paired ourselves up as if we're doing our pre-release, opened up packs, drafted, and played against each other over much longer than a normal pre-release would take.
Colin, if this is the podcast behind the paywall, can I say the word fuck?
You could in the regular podcast too, as long as it's not within the first minute.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you gotta remember.
First minute.
Also, before I forget, the thing I was looking for on the podcast, I want to real quick add, because I have some new titles to my name that I wanted to add real quick. This is totally unrelated.
Esquire,
okay.
Senior,
in addition to being a fearmonger about Force of Will, I am now a misogynist who's looking for sexual gratification through anime drawings.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So,
Hey!
and
You're not a Nazi yet, though, right?
and fun fact, you can get called that by a mod on Force of Will, and the mod can say that, then lock the thread and pseudo ban the creator of the thread, and that's all perfectly fine. So just throw that out there.
I love
That's allowed.
Yeah, we're starting off.
But you can't post alternate soul stuff in there.
How can you not pull past alternates?
Force of Will themselves is posted. But anyways, I don't know. But so we did the pre-release, and we have so I'll real quick read the results. In last place, we have Joey here, which I was excited
I'm
about.
tied with last place.
No, according to this, you are fifth.
No, clearly you
my
didn't do well in the tiebreakers.
Yeah, see, it says you have -2, and I have -3 as far as points difference. So I don't know how it works. I just know that I'm above Joey, and that's all that matters. Joey and I actually tied in our game against each other, which is funny. And then
Wait, what?
That's why you're 0-2.
Oh, yeah, no, I forgot there was a time limit, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was.
I feel like we might have broken
The time limits are literally
remember,
Joey's,
Oscar was there, time
Joey's
limit.
enemy.
Yeah, Oscar timed us. We were good.
If Joey's an
Final
anime
count.
character, time limits are like his main enemy.
5 minutes have passed. I'm gonna
And you still haven't untapped your stones. What are you thinking about, Joey?
Aw, you caught me monologuing.
Except Joey monologues in his head and doesn't share it with anyone, so it's not as
Here's
cool.
the monologue.
I wish I could stop time during my fucking turns. That would be so helpful.
5 seconds have passed.
And then above,
Yeah, I did pretty awful. I actually thought I had a good packs. Yeah, I was kind of pulling. I was like, okay, there's some Griffins. I got like 4 SRs, I think. But I had the Bear SR and I had the Regalia SR. So I was like,
Not great.
Yeah, but not awful.
Not
the worst.
in context of what we had discussed, where we're all taking from separate boxes and stuff, so you didn't take away their odds of pulling good SRs when you pulled those. So it's not as if you had pulled those in the context of us all pulling from the same box, then I think it'd be a lot cooler than you pulled those versus the SRs that some of us might have pulled.
Yeah.
Everybody just got like piles of Seraphs and Lucifer.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I never pulled Seraph in my pack, so
Celestial
I was,
Wing Seraph.
Yeah, I started feeling the Seraph.
Can we get F's in the chat for Joey?
Because you know what's great is tapping for that third stone after turn. I was pretty consistent about turn 2 putting down that addition to fetch my Celestial, and then next turn tapping for a stone and tapping that and playing her. I did that like almost perfectly consistent across the board. Not that it helped me, obviously, but it was still cool to do that.
I was about to say, you got 5th place out?
The fact that in the current set that came out in a pre-release format, I can have that combo knock off each time I grab a Lucy and still my deck hold on is very interesting. But there's just some really strong
it did come
stuff.
down to like your Lucifer counts. It was like, how many times can you play Lucifer? So how many did you have, and how many times can you play it, right? So like my deck,
how many times can you bring it out of the grave with?
That's what I mean, right? I could play Lucifer 4 times in a game. Yeah, and like I think that kind of is what helped me ended up winning.
Yeah, I think
like that's.
I think
sorry,
I capped
spoiler
out.
alert. I won.
I think I capped out at playing it 3 times in one game was the max I did. Above me was Oscar, and technically that was an actual tie between me and Oscar. Above Oscar was Jeremy. Above him was Mike at second place, and then first place was Josh, which came down pretty close because technically the scores. I'll pull it up here since I'm recording the screen. Are actually pretty close as far as wins to losses. But the points really of who won and lost against who really made or broke it.
Yeah,
with
no, it really helps when you just don't lose to anybody.
Yeah, that's
sure, must be nice.
4 or 5 Lucifers, they'll do it.
Yep.
No, because that actually, it at the end of the day, that's what it came down to. So since we weren't playing with the rulers, Joey's right. Pulling a Regalia sucked. I ended up pulling a Death Scythe, and that card did nothing for me ever. Right? Your main deck was flying big stuff, and everybody stayed the hell away from red and blue. Because if you're not Reflect Refrain, everything red and blue is garbage. So literally, the 6 of us are playing green, black, and white. Like that is our deck, and it really came down to Celestial Wing Seraphs and Lucifers. How many times you could land a Lucifer on the field to get that effect really helped in the advantage in terms of like a sealed game. And so that was kind of, so for me, I had 2 Lucifers and 2 Celestial Wing Seraphs and the addition that fetched an angel. And I had the 3-drop angel that draws 2 cards when you pull it from the deck. So like I had a good amount, plus I was playing a part of True Power. And so a part of True Power was my 3rd and 4th Lucifer in just about every game that we played, right? And with that, it was pretty much unbeatable. There was 2 other cards that were very stellar, and that was Pierre. Pierre is absolutely stellar in sealed, and I recognized that real early. So if you go back and watch Oscar and I game 1, he lands a Pierre on me turn 1, and I have to burn 2 cards into it. I burn like a 4/4 attacker and a Blood of Mikage just to swing into a tapped Pierre to get around his burns. And I knew that was a good play. Like 2 cards for 1 in anything should be a bad play, but like Pierre is obnoxiously powerful, and I had to get rid of it quick. And so like that ended up being a good play. So Pierre was very game defining, but then also I had a lot of success with Prisha, the Pursuant, the Exploding Flame. So like I always kept one of my fixing counters for red, because I didn't play a single red stone, but I knew I was playing a red card in my deck. And so in sealed, oftentimes to round out to that 25th card, sometimes I'll go in those off colors and save the mana fixing counters for those. And so Pursuant of the Exploding Flame was actually a really good card, especially in the decks that have me sacrifice my stuff sometimes. I had the something True Friendship, or the banish one, your opponent banished 2. Yeah. I had the part of True Power. I had sack outlets, so like it was just a great card to play.
I'm curious, what was your Stranger? Because I think talking to Oscar, I don't think you ever played your Stranger.
I never. So like that ruler was just so bad.
It's a brick.
Never like
a 10/10 brick for 4.
The strategy was never, because like I'd have to pay 4 to get it. And then my Stranger's obnoxiously expensive, so it's like at least a 2-turn play. And like I never found myself in a situation where I wanted to do that. I think I did it once against Jeremy, but I was playing a Apollo, I think is who it was. It was the when this thing dies, go back to 40k. And expel it, which was also good because I was playing Release. Release was another good sealed card because a lot of stuff ends up in your removed area. The 4/4 zombie dude that you can play from the grave becomes a 6/6 with swiftness and precision, goes in the removed area. Part of True Power, removed area after you remnant. There was just many times where I was putting stuff in my removed area, and Release was a great card to have.
I still have full deck intact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started with Moan of the Dead because I was running the black.
Yeah, Moan of the Dead was a really good removal card I didn't have.
Yeah, and I pulled the Black Wizard, so I figured, okay, I can ramp myself up. But then I kind of realized that since I had the Bear and I had Excel, I could try doing that instead because I'd also pulled my actual Stranger that I ended up running.
This card good.
Which was
that card was stupid good.
Yeah.
Who?
Oh.
That was the that's the 4-drop. Like I'm just gonna put my that is a standard or not standard. That is a sealed bomb. That is nuts. There's no board wipes in this.
I found myself playing from behind a lot.
There is one board wipe that I found out Colin had that wipes out. 400
I really like that. That one was fun.
It gives -400, -400.
No, it does 400 damage.
Oh, it does.
That's 400 damage to your field and your opponent's field, and you gain life for all the damage you dealt.
Yeah, I played. I think 5 4/4s into an empty board and got.
So yeah, that's.
I was like, I didn't know that was a good board wipe.
That what's the name of that card? Into Dreams or something like that.
Yeah, Mikage's Game of Dreams.
That
I remember because I would play from behind so often because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try and do the Hearthstone 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop win, but sometimes you just don't do that because your stones don't match up or your opponent's like, yeah, I've got Pierre, and I'm like, And if you're not able to do anything about it, you're just like, well, I guess I gotta just kind of sacrifice my entire board into what this guy's doing. A little bit of anti-synergy with Lucifer because it puts something in their grave, but as long as they sacrifice their least good card, you're like, yeah, okay, good.
That's awesome. Yeah, I found I didn't have quite as. I wish I had some removal like that. Yeah, because there wasn't much. I had that one, but it doesn't do any good if anything has more than 400 defense, and the other.
There's a lot of things tend to do.
Yeah.
Crystallization was a normal, and I don't think I had a single crystallization.
I pulled one, and it almost never came up.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, removal was pretty difficult. The friendship card was probably the best, and Lucifer.
Oh yeah, I got 2 of those. Those things are disgusting.
Yeah, and Lucifer was probably the best removal in the whole set.
Easy.
Yeah, so. It was pretty fun though because I was able to stave stuff off enough. Like that 400 that gains you life is a really good cushion and stuff like that. So, and I had a bunch of other stuff of I had Moan of the Dead and other things like that. So I was able to do things like my second game against Jeremy where we played and it literally it went to time and I never did a single point of damage to him the entire game. And it literally ended with him killing me on his last draw. Like, if he had passed turn and it came back to his turn, he would have lost because he just burned through his whole deck. And I was just, putting up a wall for as long as I physically could. But it was just funny that I was able to do that with certain cards that just happened to be in my deck. Which I realized, my deck isn't super good at being it's not a very offensive deck, and it just came down to the cards I pulled. I think for some of it, but a couple hitters in there, but I never pulled Griffin. I think I pulled it once or twice, the entire tournament, even though I had it, and it's a small deck. For some reason, it was always at the bottom of my deck, which was frustrating. But that was
So I have a question for both of you because I kind of discussed this with Colin and Oscar, and I think they disagreed with me. Did you guys find playing over webcam challenging?
No.
I only do a little bit because my laptop has a camera in it. And I don't have an external webcam, so I just have to do this the whole time.
Yeah.
So.
Hello.
Well, I guess actually I didn't think about that, but Mike, like, were you able to see how well were you able to see your screen then at that point?
Not very. I had to do this all the time, just like
okay, so it was really difficult for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if
no,
I had,
actually,
if I had an actual like external webcam that I could use for it, it would have been nice. But
no, I absolutely loved it. Actually, it was a fantastic opportunity to finally shuffle up some cards, and like I
felt so good playing physical cards. Oh.
Yeah, once I got my table set up, which was after I played with Mike, is when I figured out the best layout for it. It was a lot more fun because it felt like I was just playing a normal game because I was able to maximize their screen on mine, and so as long as it didn't get too pixely, it wasn't too bad.
Do you guys think it was easy because you kind of already knew what every single card in the set did or does?
By round 2, yeah. By round 2, yeah. After we had kind of played it once, and I realized we were all playing the same deck, like at some point I knew what every card it did.
What's this card called? Lucifer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Sure.
What? And she's getting a Lucifer? Seraph? Oh my god.
Wow, this is busted. This would be good in standard, right?
Oh my god, this is too strong. This could be a super rare.
It should be a super rare.
This would have been really good back in the old days of Force of Will.
Yeah, I definitely much prefer playing with actual real cards. Mm-hmm. I hadn't realized because I went to the Las Vegas GP a couple months ago, and I hadn't played physical Force of Will in like a year and a half or so. So it was really nice getting to play there, and then this has just been nice, just shuffling and being able to physically do stuff. It's really exciting. It's definitely a different feel over like Lackey or Untap and stuff.
Oh yeah, we definitely over Untap. Yeah,
it felt very good. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I'm glad you guys reached out so that we were able to play. I'll give you my address. You send my belt.
We gotta do.
If I can get like a little Twin Koteki head statue that says second place on it.
We'll do this again. We'll have it so like each time it's Josh, there'll be like a little gold symbol on the screen. So it's like, oh, he's the returning champion.
You can give me like a little you just give me like a shit smeared silver.
Now we got the baseline, so people can run bets on it now next time.
I don't want to. I'll take a John Cena meme, but instead it's Josh Patton. Da-da-da.
for our fantasy
Fat Crack and Cena,
for our fantasy league, we actually got a little trophy, and we engraved people's names on it, and it passes back and forth. Actually,
I'll be honest, the only trophy we've ever had in those leagues is not something that I proudly display on my shelf. It's very big, very floppy, and very veiny, and I don't display that.
Next time,
I just like this would be a trophy for Joey. Like those are the only trophies I've ever gotten.
That's awesome.
Last place trophy.
What do you guys think about like drafting? So like imagine you get 3 packs in the mail or something, or you buy yourself 3 packs, you open them, you kind of record. Hold on, how was I going to do that?
He's trying to break it down as he's going.
I had a really good idea. Everybody jumps onto Lackey. You pass around cards through each person's kind of screen, and then they put it into their like deck location, and you draft out an entire 3 packs, or maybe it's 4 and Force of Will. I don't know. I haven't drafted in a long time.
4 packs,
4, but I actually don't remember what my logistics were, so I'm lost.
Yeah, it would be drafting would be very difficult, but I know that what I've tried to do in the past is I've tried to like record packs, right, and put it in like a spreadsheet, and but like there would just essentially have to be somebody that would monitor. So like you would distribute, and you'd be like, all right, look, this is your pack, and then everyone would pick one, and then you would take that sheet back, cross off or delete what was taken, and then redistribute to the next person. Like, that's the only way that I would know that, like, everybody doesn't have full visibility of what everybody else would do. But I also think that, I don't know, maybe a full visibility kind of draft wouldn't be bad, especially for content.
Well, I think there's definitely ways we could get it to where there wouldn't be a full visibility thing. I would have to brainstorm more, but see, my issue with that is that it wouldn't be an online webcam like virtual thing where we actually have cards.
It'd be a lackey thing. Is that what you're saying?
Lackey or untapped once you've built your deck.
Not necessarily, because all you have to do essentially is all you need is a hub, and that hub person is the one who handles all the packs and stuff, and they open them, choose a card, and say I pass it, so I'm passing it to my right, so that'll go to Joey, and so I would show the cards to Joey. He picks which one. I set that in the Joey pile, and you do that like a normal thing. And by the time the drafting's over, since I'm the hub person, I just take all people's piles and just mail them to them or something like that.
Mailing could work, something like that. Anyways, just completely questioning,
but,
you know.
Hopefully,
without the mailing part, the logistics are a little bit easier. Like if you just do like an online, like even like a pack randomizer type thing, where it just randomizes a number between like 1 and however many cards are in the set.
There was one on Lackey for a bit, yeah.
Yeah, if you just build a pack based off that. What I want to do is drafts where it's like the numbered set for each cluster, like hitting like Grim 1 versus Alice 1, Lapis 1, Rayo 1. I want to see that happen.
This is like that would be kind of cool.
Like threes, and then everything's busted because Scheherazade. But no, but you got to use draft rulers, so all the Scheherazade stuff is garbage.
Mm-hmm. Most of it is, yes.
Wait, never mind. The ones are busted if we allow New Valhalla in there, because I think you also have a combination of Hook and Misty Woods. So that sounds disgusting.
Well, I mean, if you pull it in your draft, then you kind of.
Oh, I know, it's all basic stones. Okay, we're good.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hook
can still
bounces people.
To resonators. I feel like.
Yeah, but they're rested, right? It has to be rested.
No.
Bye bye.
He didn't like you talking kindly about Hook.
Don't talk kindly about Hook. I hate that guy.
He was mean to me.
I've banned him in multiple Eternal formats. We're fine.
But
he is pretty bad.
We'll wrap it up there, but hopefully we get to do another pre-release or something like that, because that was pretty fun.
We can vomit over the card layouts when we open our packs for AO4.
Oh, that's going to be an interesting box opening for you. Yeah.
Is that full art?
I guess that's a ruler. Yeah, it's a ruler star resonator. I got confused. I'm sorry.
How are you going to get confused? They're in the package. Colin.
You obviously are not aware about how organized I am. This is a stack of cards. I just put the ruler there. I got the old cards I just put there. I have some new cards. I have old cards like Grim, and then I got Argent Saga cards at the bottom.
Colin, stop.
That's one stack in my. You don't want to see my closet.
Let me tell you about Jesus. Alright.
I
don't know. Good night,
on my floor right here.
Alright, to be fair, this is more understandable, but spoiler, I'm never organizing these.
This one, look at this. Yeah. This pile right here.
I have two separate boxes.
Look
at this.
Case these yet.
That is a lot.
Good.
I got everything I'm selling.
Bulk.
I got my collection. That's my personal collection. Play sets of everything. Come on, boys.
I'd be curious how you compare to Oscar. See, Oscar's more like that. He's more organized, but he also has an ungodly amount of cards. Boxes and boxes. I tried putting them in boxes, and we did organize them over the course of like 8 hours, I think it took. But then it spiraled out again. It's fine. But Yeah, thanks guys for watching. We'll show us your collections, and we'll see you guys next time.